Hey gang, it's Mark from AfterBuzz TV here at Day of Days at Universal Studios City Walk with the amazing, what a gentleman, Thaao Penghlis and Lauren Koslow are here with me.
We're on, are we?
We are running. We are rolling.
We're just rehearsing our scenes for Monday. Okay.
Well, let me just say, we're gonna do some maybe non-days related questions and have a little fun with you guys because we know that you have a lot of people to talk to. So we're gonna try and mix things up a little bit. But before we do that, we do have to talk a little bit about days. So,
have you been watching?
I have been watching. I'm not caught up, so I don't know what happened this Friday. So if it's happened recently, I don't know, but that's okay. But I was just gonna say, having you back as Andre and this relationship that we now have. It's so funny because I really enjoyed you with A. Martinez. I think that was the last time you were here. We were talking about that.
Yes.
And at first when you guys got together, it was like, I don't know. And each episode, I'm falling more and more in love with Andre and Kate. Can you guys just talk about how it's been working together? I mean, I know it's amazing, but...
No, but that's really interesting because, I really loved working with A. Martinez.
Yeah.
And in terms of Kate, too, that was such a big thing in her life, and they really, really connected. And I thought it was pretty brilliant how they started to work, us together, because it was in a whole different realm, really. And it is about power and this inner, we talk about this pain, like this inner pain. They have a lot of things really in common.
Right.
And they get that about each other, So I think it was a negotiated, their relationship is negotiated. And yet, just like the way you feel, we'd get these scripts and, the scenes started to change. And, we're playing with that too, because we have a friendship and a relationship. Right. And it became very delightful to play, and it's so cat and mouse and the power levels, they're always shifting. So I think you can't help but get involved in what they are entertaining here. And I think the same thing happens to them.
Right.
It's totally unexpected.
Yeah.
We were talking about that scene we had a few weeks ago when they're negotiating the marriage, and this is the way it's going to be, and blah, blah, blah. And she's pontificating, and he's pontificating. And the more they do it, they're almost amused by themselves, So this chemistry starts to develop.
Yeah.
I think also, because we were talking about that before, about you take an essence of a scene and then you add to it, and it depends on, you can make a line dramatic, you can make it, you can throw it away, but I thought of Tony in a way. Because the thing about Andre was that he always tried to emulate Tony. So at that moment, when I reach over to her and when she's telling me about the rules, and I just in a cheeky fashion say, "Whatever you want, dear," that made a difference. And I think because you can't always have that kind of chemistry. Also, it depends on what they're writing. They certainly didn't write us like we were getting along. The big difference is she and I like each other as people and as actors. So we always wanted to work with each other.
Right.
So that was the base. So what we added was the conflict that was there, and then how it evolved. So you had a real long arc, so that suddenly the the audience is discovering, just like we did, that these two people have something interesting between them. And it was drawn out in a way because they weren't willing to give up on themselves and their restrictions about who enters and who gets out. So that was the great thing about it. And I think in a way, the humor, the way that she was able to, we were talking about the way we work with each other, it's discovery at that moment, especially when you're present. And a lot of the times you're not present because you're still on the lines because you're shooting so quickly.
Right.
But if you can take that moment where you just say, okay, I'm centered and I'm arrived. And she comes on, and both of us come on with the way we're dressed. And we're both, in a sense, clothes horses, and we understand fashion because we've been involved in that area of life. But it's in the way underneath they care about each other. They're just not willing. You know how relationships are. Some people say, I love you, and then the other one says, oh, I know. And then it suddenly becomes a game.
Yes.
And the same thing, they're not willing to give each other that much. But now we're discovering through a breakdown of hers, and also I've had them, that suddenly there's another element. So I think the arc is going to be shocking, with what's coming.
Okay.
But I think,
To say the least.
to say the least.
A lot of stuff.
Yeah. So it's
Be very ride.
Well, one of the things I think that I appreciated about the what they've done with you, because I feel like sometimes we're forced to like a couple.
Yeah.
I feel like they're letting us fall in love with the couple, with
Yeah.
you guys.
Yeah.
It's not, okay, there was they justified the marriage. Like, we're just going to do
Yeah.
this, it's a business on paper,
Yeah.
and then let you two as actors
Yeah.
make this into
just the
something.
way
Play
you
with
said
it.
that.
Yeah.
Just the way you
Yeah.
said that is your observation is how she and I have played it.
Good.
So it's in the playing of discovery.
Yeah.
And so as you discover, so does the audience.
Right.
And so it has longevity. So we'll see what takes.
Well, and we truly don't know. That's kind of the beauty of this. I mean, because you're right. Sometimes you can just see it, right? And go,
Yeah.
okay, this is going to be a couple now.
Right.
But with this, it's really hard to tell.
Yeah.
You can't really tell.
And you question it every day. I go, is she really falling? Because it's
Yeah.
Kate. You never know.
You don't know.
So we don't have much time left. So I want to do a little bit of saying, play a little game. We're like, what are we calling it? Who would I take? Who would you call? Tony or Andre? So Tony or Andre is your answer to any of these questions, okay?
Okay.
Both of you, your opinion on who you would take, who you would call. So where's my list here?
I love when you're prepared.
I know, right? Nothing but the finest here. All right, who would you call to take to Disneyland? Tony or Andre?
Andre.
Yes. And what
Who
choices?
who would you call to take
for you.
to Disneyland?
I would take both of them
Oh my God.
because one would disturb the other.
If you were dumped by a lover, who would you call? Tony or Andre?
Well, I danced with Tony, correct?
Yeah.
And that would be a real pick-me-up. I guess that would be Tony.
Who would you call if you got dumped by a lover?
It sounds like masturbation.
Not that a lover would ever dump you.
I've never been dumped, actually. To be honest with you. Thanks for reminding me.
That's what I'm here for.
Some lovely moments in my life. Who would I call?
Yeah.
So tricky for you.
I think Tony.
Tony.
Yeah, because Andre wanted to be Tony. So
Right.
I would do the model of Tony as being the person who has the overall.
Right. Okay, last one. Who would you call to have your back in a fight? A back alley fight.
I have to refuse to answer this one on the grounds that it could incriminate a story arc.
What was the question?
Tony or Andre, which one would you call to have your back in a street fight?
Andre.
I would call Andre personally. Not that you care what I think.
Dirty. He played dirty.
That is really interesting, though.
Yeah.
But you know what?
See, I'm getting information about Tony and Andre, really.
You know what's interesting? A number of years ago, they were going to have a young kid on the show come and beat me up. And the producer, I said to him, it was Gary Tomlin, and I said, I know you haven't been here long, but this character's a black belt, so... Oh, I didn't know that. I said, yes. He says, what do you suggest? I said, I tell you what, let him come in and attack me, and then we'll play it from there. He says, okay. So the young guy came in and attacked me. I stepped away, and I pushed him right against the wall and knocked him out.
I would take Teo with me to a street fight. I changed my answer. I will take Teo with me. Thank you guys so much. Enjoy the rest of your day. So wonderful to see you.
Coming onto your show again.
Anytime you want.
Because of your appetizers. You cannot believe
They're
the
so
food they serve you. I mean,
Fantastic. Those little squares.
Pizza rolls.
oh my
Pizza
God, they're
rolls.
famous.
everyone.
You know, it's like you go to a place for spaghetti, you go to his.
Pizza
for me,
rolls.
It's AfterBuzz for pizza rolls. I think we're going to end there.
next time I'm going to bring my own.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.